Now, you know by now that the minister issued his directive on the 31st of December 2024. What was your, when did you first learn about the directive?
On the social media, that's where I picked it up. And then he then called, I think, was it, I'm not sure whether it was the 1st or the 2nd, but early January, that the letter that is circulating, he wrote the letter, because I thought it's fake.
Is that the usual way you learn about what the minister decides or has decided, that you learn about it on social media?
Well, that's not a right way. We have been interacting all along about everything that is to do with policing, but this specific one, that's how we learned about it, unfortunately.
What was your reaction when you saw on social media that he had directed that the political killings task team be disbanded?
Well, as I said, I first dismissed it because it was odd for me to say something like that. And when he confirmed it himself, that he wrote it, and we must not be surprised. I didn't understand what could have motivated him to pen such a letter in the manner in which he did.
When did you first see the full text of the letter?
I'm not sure of the exact date, but yeah, I saw the full text. It was early January though, still. And I read it, and I had a problem because the way it was written, it was very difficult to comprehend how that is going to be realized, the content of the letter, because it was saying that the PKTT is disbanded with immediate effect, and that a close-up report must be submitted, or a plan by 20 January, and then a close-up report by the end of the month. It was not practical to do those things.
So how would one describe your reaction to seeing this directive? Shocked, surprised?
It was unusual.
Baffled?
It was unusual. And I mean, it was not exciting. It was just problematic, yeah.
Because you also saw, and there's been, I don't know if you want to add your interpretation to the word immediately. You saw that in the letter.
Yeah, I saw that in the letter.
And I think you may have said that you found that to be
I've said it's
problematic.
Yeah, if something is immediate, is immediate. It is disbanded, and then I need reports on this and that date that closes this unit. It was problematic.
Now, you had worked with the minister for at least half the year, from July to December, and you've also known him in another capacity, as a political ally, comrade. When you saw the text or read the text of the letter, what was your sense? What was your impression? Is this the way he communicates? Is this the way he writes?
Look, it was very difficult to really put my thoughts together as to what was happening to him to craft the letter in the manner in which he did. And at the time that he did, I don't know what was going through his mind and the circumstances that he was in when he penned when he penned the letter. It's I don't know. Of course, he has said so to you here that he was seated at home and maybe the environment was such that he could apply his mind and pen that letter. But I don't know what he was going through, because a strong letter is not a light letter.
Would it be correct to say he didn't consult with you?
Of course, he didn't consult. The only time that he spoke to me, it was after the letter was out, and he was saying, "Yes, I've penned the letter. Don't be surprised."
Did you ask him what the reasons were, what informed the letter, what his motivations were?
I didn't question whether it's right for him to write a letter like that, because when an executive authority makes a decision and pens it down so that there's no misinterpretation of the decision, he has made a stand. He took a stand and communicated that stand.
What is your understanding between the divide between policy and operations? And you've been a deputy minister for a long time. You're familiar with sections 206 and 207 of the Constitution. You're familiar with the provisions in the Police Act, which prescribes the role, the various roles of the minister, the national commissioner, divisional commissioners. This is a directive disbanding an operational unit, task team within the police. Could the minister do that?
The minister can communicate his views. Whether he's legally correct or wrong, I might not be able to interpret that, but he can communicate his directives in writing. And it's upon the recipient to receive and respond to that. And I think the National Commissioner responded in a manner that the immediate part of it was not operationalized. Because we are all aware that the committee, the task team is still there.
So how soon into the new year did the minister discuss this with you? This is now after he's issued the directive.
I might not recall the exact date, but I mean, when we met and discussed, we discussed this issue way beyond January. That January has come and gone, and the PKTT has not been disbanded. But like I said earlier, that there were discussions around this. For instance, I remember a discussion where the issue of General Khumalo came into being, that as we are strengthening crime intelligence, it will be appropriate that he focus on crime intelligence, and probably the National Commissioner look at getting somebody who can full-time attend to the PKTT.
Yeah, you do mention, and you'll see at paragraph 54 of your statement, that the discussions you did have with the minister seem to be more about the head of crime intelligence now also heading the PKTT.
Yeah, because that was the case. Even now, because that decision has not been made, that is still the case. But one was of the view that if we were to be true to what we are saying, it will be appropriate that Lieutenant General Khumalo be allowed to pay special attention to crime intelligence, because he is responsible for that. And we get some senior officer, either a major general, to take up the responsibility of heading the political killing task team. Because even Khumalo, by the time he was heading it, he was a major general before he became a head of CI.
But there was never any talk of disbanding or disestablishing the task team.
Well, the earlier discussions that came, that the unit must be done away with, there was a discussion around that. There was, because we were saying let's strengthen murder and robbery, and all murder-related cases be dealt with by the murder and robbery unit.
But you can't remember when that discussion took place? Was that before the directive?
Before the letter, yes. Before the letter.
So let me come back to then what was your reaction when you saw the directive?
The letter?
Yes.
No, the letter, I'm saying that the letter came as a surprise to me, particularly the immediate disbandment of the unit and the dates that were set there. That to me was a problem, because the people who can be able to say we think we can close up this through this particular process are the operatives themselves out of an engagement.
Were you aware of the fact that the people in charge of the operations of the PKTT, General Mchunu and Lieutenant General Khumalo, that they had not been consulted about the disestablishment of the task team?
Well, because the discussions we were having with the National Commissioner, for that decision to ultimately be implemented, it will necessarily need the engagement of all the role players.
Yeah. But don't you think that the minister should have consulted with them? They're the people directly involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that the ultimate dissolution will have to take place after interacting with all the relevant role players. And this includes them.
The task team itself, was there any doubt in your mind that this task team was operating legally within the prescripts of SAPS, within an allocated budget, and falling under the authority of the National Commissioner,
Yeah.
ultimately.
Yeah. I never doubted that.
Did the minister ever mention to you or indicate to you or give you any idea that actually this political task team is not operating legally?
Well, you know, the discussions around this, it was not based on the legality of the unit or not, because that was never in question. I don't remember a meeting where we discussed that the team is illegal or something like that. That never arose.
Were you at the January the 8th ANC celebrations in, I think it was in Cape Town,
Yeah, I was.
in Kalitsa?
Yes.
Did you discuss this directive with the minister at that gathering, or maybe even with former Minister Mathale at that gathering?
No, at the gathering, the minister was not present.
Did you discuss it with the president?
No.
Did the minister tell you that he discussed it with the president?
Well, he might have discussed with the president, because in our engagement we did say the minister must take the president into confidence on the things that he intends to do. So he must he must discuss with the president. Whether he discussed with the president or not, I don't know, because I was not in attendance.
Subsequent to the directive, and after you had sight of it or heard about it, read about it on social media, did you discuss the directive with the National Commissioner or any of the Deputy Commissioners, or with Lieutenant General Kunazi or Kumalo?
No, with General Kwanaze and Kumalo, no, but with the National Commissioner. In the meetings that he was in, we did discuss it, but not outside those meetings.
And as you were discussing it, what was your sense of whether this directive, which required the immediate disestablishment of the task team, where was this now going?
The immediate was it was not happening, because, as I said to you, I mean, if up to now the task team exists, so the crafting of the letter, it just made it difficult to implement what was in there, because it's not possible. Once something is immediate, in the day-to-day use of immediate, it's immediate.
Okay. And the other aspects of this directive, that the National Commissioner must have a report ready on the 20th of January. Did you know whether that was done or not?
There are things that didn't happen because of that. For instance, the issues around filling up of posts didn't happen, which had any, what one can say, a negative impact on the strengthening of the crime intelligence that we're engaged in.
So You weren't privy to the report which the National Commissioner gave to the Minister, I think it was on the 22nd of January.
On the close-up report.
Yes.
Well, most of the reports the National Commissioner and the Minister discussed them in our presence, but I'm not sure which specific report you are referring to.
Yeah. Do you meet with the Minister once these reports are submitted to him and copied to you? Do you discuss them?
Normally, when there are briefings, they will make copies available, and we will then discuss them. Depending on the sensitivity of the documents, we will then hand them over. But if they are not sensitive, we keep them.
Now, on the 5th of March, it was an online meeting that you, your other deputy, the minister, and all the senior officials held with the Police Portfolio Committee. Do you remember that
Yeah.
meeting? Did you have a briefing before going into that meeting?
Yes, we ordinarily, before we go to the portfolio committee, we'll have a briefing. And after the briefing, we'll then go and appear before the committee. But in some instances, we'll just go to the meeting without having processed the document ourselves because of the time constraints that were there between the request for the meeting and the meeting sitting. But yeah, we do, normally we do discuss them before we appear.
Can you recall what was on the agenda for that meeting?
I can't recall what we discussed, but I know that at the end of the meeting, the Provincial Commissioner of KZN did respond to or make a comment in that committee meeting where he raised issues that some of which one was hearing them for the first time, and I was a bit uncomfortable with that.
Now, one of the big items on the agenda was the political killings task team.
Yeah. That I recall, yeah.
And the presentation was actually done by Lieutenant General Khumalo.
Khumalo, yes.
What do you recall about that briefing?
No, it was briefing the committee about the work that the PKTT was doing and its successes since inception to date.
And what was your recollection of how Khumalo dealt with the issue of the directive and that the minister had called for the immediate disestablishment of the task team?
Well, the briefing to the committee, I don't recall it talking to the directives of the establishment of the task team. It was just briefing the committee on the work of the PKTT.
Can you recall that Minister Mchunu was, to quote both General Masemola and Lieutenant General Kwanazi, was very angry that the PKTT was not closed and was not being closed. It wasn't being disestablished in accordance with his directive.
Yeah. He was dissatisfied, yes. I recall that.
You prefer the word dissatisfied. Shall we add that word now also to our lexicon? Was he very angry or was he dissatisfied?
He was dissatisfied.
Very dissatisfied.
He was dissatisfied, Senior Council.
You're just being diplomatic.
No, not really.
He wasn't happy.
He was dissatisfied.
So, because now we at the end of March, the directive is end of December, and I suppose this is what you almost predicted or thought at the time when you saw the directive, that this is not going to happen.
Yeah, the directive is the way the note was crafted was problematic. So we are in March, now we are in October. We are still in the same situation.
Yeah.